All right, welcome back to the Nets Trades YouTube channel. My name is Zero, and I'm one of the Nets Trades admin. And today I wanted to do a trade review. So I haven't done one of these before, but I thought it'd be pretty informative and helpful for you guys to kind of better understand how I trade. I just want to quickly go over like some of my entries and exits and how I basically traded Tesla and why I did certain things. So let's jump right into it. So I actually ended up getting into Tesla on Friday. I had 775 October 1 calls, and I got I got them for an average of 520, and I bought them around this area right here. And the reason I entered that, if you guys are curious, was because we were seeing some good order flow coming into Tesla. So if you look at this right here, this is on Friday. There was a net 63 million positive flow on Tesla, and you could just see the flow was overall positive, including large, medium, and small trades. And we were seeing it make higher highs. So so this was the morning high, and then we broke that, and then we broke that again. So that's when I actually ended up entering. And the reason I held through all of this was because if you look at the 2-minute and the EMA, when you see stuff like this where it's just like really tight and it's just holding steady uptrend, that lets you know that there's algos buying this, which basically means big people with big money are coming into this. It's not just retail trying to pump this on Wall Street bets or something like that. It's like actually big institutions that want to get into this, and it's just like clean movement, and you know that it's algorithms buying this. So that's a good sign to stay in the trade. And also when you see it consolidate, like it's not like dropping all the way back down here. It's holding very well, and it's just making higher highs throughout the day. So that's why I got in, and that's why I stayed in all of Friday. And I decided to swing it because if you look at like the overall picture, it had just broken out of this ascending triangle that it's been consolidating for a while. And usually the way I base my moves off is, if you measure this, so this made a 7% move or $50. So basically you can kind of expect a similar move to the upside once it breaks. And we haven't reached that yet. To reach it would be like around 820 to reach a 50% move, or about 7%. So we haven't reached that yet, but I don't expect it to reach it in one go. We're probably going to see a consolidation tomorrow. Maybe it's going to start forming. The most ideal situation would be it would start forming a bull flag. So something like this. Something like that. And we can also use fibs to get a better idea. So if we take a look at previous move and draw it there, we actually hit the 0.786 perfectly right there. So that's a resistance. And healthy pullback would be down to the 0.618. So if it stays in this range right here, that would be ideal. And then we would expect a move like this, where it retraces back down here, kind of stays in this area for a while, and then we finally see that final push to 820s. I would expect once we break 800, straight push to 820, maybe even higher. But first we're looking at that, then we see how it reacts there, and then reevaluate the trade. But you can see also the volume, decent volume on Friday, and then we actually got bigger volume today with that big candlestick, and then on the pullback, very small right now, not as significant volume. So it tells you it's very healthy right now. I would still expect more upside to Tesla. Like I said, could possibly reach this one area at 825, 820s, 820 to 825 would be my ultimate price target. So that's why I held on Friday, because it broke, or it was heading towards 780, which was a big resistance. If you look at like Tesla overall, this has just been like a big level for it right here around the 750s, and we finally got a clean push over that. So I was thinking we could probably head towards 780 today, and if we get over 780, I would expect 800 plus this week. So that's why I swung it on Friday. And let's go back to the Webull chart. So I swung it from Friday. I held from this level, and this morning the contracts opened at around 15 something, and I ended up getting out of all of them at 1675, right when we broke the pre-market high. And the reason I sold this morning was because if you look at the indexes, they were pretty weak. Like, let's pull up QQQ. Whoop, too many Qs. If you look at the morning action, it was super weak, so I didn't want to risk giving back too much of my profits. So I ended up selling profits. I ended up selling my contracts from Friday in the morning. And again, the reason I did that was because QQQ was weak, SPY was weak, and generally, when we have like a swing like this, a lot of people from Friday that bought this day, they want to take profits, and also we were reaching that key level of 780, so I knew there was going to be some resistance there. And when you just saw the tape, it was going to speed up to the downside. So I ended up locking it in. I'm like, I'll just reevaluate. If we end up just consolidating here, I'll get back in. But we did end up seeing it pull back. But like I said, because bigger picture, I do expect this to head 800 plus. I was exiting here, but I was really still considering, that we were going to see 800 plus. So I was still keeping a very close eye on Tesla and considering getting in on any pullback. So we did end up pulling back all the way back down to 770, and we did lose it slightly, but we regained it, and that's when I started re-entering on my initial positions. So I started buying here, which was around $7, because I ended up getting more further out the money contracts instead of getting the 775s, which was the ones I swung from Friday. I ended up picking, I think, 790 calls, just because, like I said, I'm looking for that 800 move. So those would eventually come in the money if my thesis worked out. So I ended up picking these at 7, like I said, and then we saw a nice push, so I was in the green right away, but we did end up coming back, which I was okay with. I held through this because I wanted to see how it would react in the 770 area, and if we broke that, that would be my stop loss, but which did kind of happen, but we regained it very fast, so I was still kind of like waiting patiently. I wanted to give it some wiggle room. My real exit would be like 668. We saw 668, I would get out. But we ended up pushing back, so I ended up adding more. And then as we broke this area right here, which we struggled in, I ended up adding more. So my average ended up being around 725, 750, around there, because I was adding like throughout this whole area. And then we broke here. I started getting a little bit concerned because we saw this wick here in the 780s, but because I got in like around this area, I gave it some more wiggle room, and then we started pushing up again. Then around 10 on the contracts, I ended up getting out like half my position. So that was like a decent 40% trade right there, but I still held half my position because, like, again, I'm looking towards that 800. At least I wanted my contracts to get in the money, so anything above 790, I would be okay with selling the rest. So I held on. We started seeing some consolidation, but it was super healthy. Like, even though there's a lot of wicks, it's not pulling back a lot. And this is actually something I pointed out in the Discord. So right here, I told people to notice the difference between BA and Tesla. So if you take a closer look, BA, it had a nice move in the morning, like Tesla, but when you see it start consolidating, it starts pulling back too much, and that's not what you want to see. That's kind of unhealthy. And also the volume was kind of dying down, versus when you look at Tesla, the volume's not dying down. It's actually very consistent and healthy. And if you look at the consolidation, it's not pulling back basically anything. It's like holding very well, and that's exactly what you want to see. And that's why I stayed in the trade, even though it wasn't really pushing up that much. It was kind of just trading sideways. It was still very healthy, and that's completely okay. That you actually want to see this because it gives you a chance to accumulate more contracts, more shares, or just reevaluate the trade. And if we start dropping back towards this level, I would consider selling out. But like I said, it was super healthy consolidation, so I kept holding because, again, my price target was 800. So I kept looking towards 800, but then around this area started slowing down, and it's 9:45, so we were heading into lunch, and so I knew there's going to be some consolidation, so I ended up selling the rest at 18:15. That's when I got completely out. Basically, my plan at this point was I still think we're heading towards 820 ultimately, but I'm okay with selling here because I'm securing good profit. I got in at 720s, over 100% trade intraday, so this was a day trade on top of what we made from the swing. So I was okay selling there, and like I said, we were heading into lunchtime, so I didn't want to really hold there and just watch my premiums fade into power hours. So I decided to sell, and my thought process was I'll sell right now. If I need to jump back in because this is going to make the move to 800 today, I'll jump back in closer to power hour because I'll be more comfortable then. There'll be more volume and it'll be easier to read the price action, and we won't just see this kind of action. So I got out there when we made the new high of day around 795, and then we just saw it trade sideways. I was considering adding here, but I didn't because I was already up like a lot for the day, and I wanted to make sure Tesla was going to make the move. It had already moved a lot, and indexes were kind of just trading sideways. They weren't really too strong, so I held back and then didn't add. So right now I don't have any position, but I am looking to re-enter Tesla if we see it start breaking out. So for tomorrow, I think tomorrow we should see an inside bar day, so consolidation day. That'd be most ideal. If we start breaking down, then that's not really what we want to see. Or if we just get the push tomorrow, which could happen. I mean, we could gap up above 800 and just rip off the open, but hopefully that doesn't happen because I don't have a position right now. But yeah, ultimately I'm looking at towards 820 on Tesla. Right now I don't have a position because like I said, I think tomorrow is going to be a consolidation day, so I didn't want to hold through that. And like I said, I'm already up pretty big, so just locking in profits. And also you see before market close, we kind of got a little dump. Probably people just taking profits. Still very healthy chart. We're above 790, which is really good. If we can open around this area tomorrow, that's still pretty good. And if we start seeing some initial buying, I might jump in calls to scalp tomorrow in the morning. But we'll see. I might make a trade recap on that once it comes, because I do think we still have big opportunity on Tesla here. If you look at the order flow today, it was actually even bigger than Friday's. It's 79 million. So still very big buys coming in. Like I said, 800 plus, I think is pretty much guaranteed at this point. It's just a matter of when, not if. But yeah, hopefully you guys took something from that trade review. Hopefully that helped you guys a little bit more understand why I made certain moves. And hopefully you guys better understand like consolidation and how to kind of use volume to help you understand what's going on in the chart. So yeah, let me know if you guys learned something from this video. Let me know if you guys want to see more trade reviews. And let me know if you guys traded Tesla today, because it was a pretty hot stock to trade today. But yeah, if you guys did learn something, leave a like on the video. Helps out the channel a lot. And other than that, I'll catch you guys in a future video. It's been me, Zero, and I'm out. Peace.
I say I love you, you say I love you too. Somehow it don't sound the same as when I say it to you. What's been going on? Can you tell me please? And I'm not trying to start a fight, I just wanna believe. Seems these days it gets quicker every time that you leave, but takes hours for you to come to me.